Welcome to Sudden Strike 4, and thanks for watching. Today, we're going to learn how to tow tanks. Now, when it comes to towing tanks, I have some good news and some bad news for you. First, the good news. The good news, obviously, you can tow tanks, as you can see right here. The bad news is, to be able to tow tanks, you're going to need the complete edition game version, unless there have been some modifications on the other ones, but not with the original one anyway. You're going to need the complete edition to be able to tow tanks. I've gone through the original Sudden Strike 4 missions, and I cannot find anything. The mission that I'm looking at right here that you can tow a tank from is the Russian version mission. I believe the missions 2 and 3, you can tow tanks, and you get tow trucks to actually tow them out of the mud. We're going to look at how you can do that first of all, and then we will look at some basics of towing regular items at the end of this. So you may just want to watch the first part, but if you want to learn more about towing, you can stick around for the rest of this. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started on how you tow a tank. As you can see right in front of us right now, we have a tow truck and we have a tank right there. What you want to do, or the easiest way to do it, is just press X on the tow truck, and then you're going to go to where the tank is, and you'll just push the triangle button. You're going to see this little thing, a little symbol that says tow, which we'll get to be a little more familiar with, and you're going to push the triangle button to go to that spot. We're going to unpause it, of course, so that it can actually go there, and then, of course, once you've got it attached or set up, all you need to do is press X to select or make sure that the vehicle you're towing with is selected, and then after you've selected the spot you want to go to, all you need to do is push the triangle button or the command button to set it there, and it will start towing. So that's a pretty cool feature, and you can actually tow tanks like we were able to tow this tank that was pretty much stuck in the mud and nowhere to go. So that's pretty cool. We're able to get that done right here. Now let's go ahead and shift gears and go look at the basics of towing. In this spot right here, we're going to talk about the mechanics of towing, and this pretty much holds for most of the game. Now, there is a little thing you can do to add on different types of vehicles and stuff and allow them to tow. But one of the problems you're going to run into, and this is for the original Sudden Strike 4 game, is you're not going to be able to tow tanks. You can tow stuff, but you can't tow tanks. You can tow tanks in certain missions on the Complete Edition, which we've discussed earlier. So, for example, this armored personnel carrier right here, what we're going to do is we're going to push X to select it, and there's two ways to find out if you can tow something with it. Basically, one way is to hold down R2 and you'll see a bunch of menu options. If you look to the top right hand corner of that menu option, by holding down the left analog stick in that direction, it'll say tow, right? Okay. Now after you select that, you can go to any object. Okay, we can't tow this item, but you'll see there's a towing symbol on there. So let's go to the tank here. Can't tow that. There's an X on it. We can tow this anti-tank gun. So if we wanted to tow that, all we would do is hit X to execute, and it will go tow that. Now let's hit X again and look at this armored personnel carrier. There's another way you can tow. All you do is simply hit X to select unit. Okay? Now, we can't tow this right here. We can't tow this right here. But what can we do? We could tow this, but we've already got it towed by the other one. We could go all the way over here and tow this. All we need to do is either hit triangle, I believe it's triangle attack move, and unpause it, and both of these vehicles right here will actually tow the guns. Now, in this case, we're getting attacked, so maybe we don't want that to happen. And I guess the next question many of us will have is how do you untow it so you can actually use the guns? Because you can't use the guns when they're being towed, right? Okay. So what do? Well, you go to the armored personnel carrier right here. You push X. And then I like to hold down R2. And if you see this circle comes up, if you'll notice where the tow thing is, you're going to take the left analog stick and release it right there. Release both items at the same time. Oops. And you got to unpause it, of course. Now that I unpaused it, the gun is back to normal. Okay, this one right here, we'll do this the right way. We want to have it not be towed anymore. We're going to, well, actually, we'll tow it to right here, and then we're going to untow it. Or release it in just a second, okay? That's where we want it. Okay, what we're going to do is hold down R2, because we've already selected this. Go to where it says tow with the left analog stick, release it, and now the gun is operational. And that is essentially all you need to do to tow. Now, unfortunately, you cannot tow, tanks and stuff like that in this spot. You can tow it in other missions. Again, that's where the complete edition. So just wanted to give you a heads up there. In this example right here, we are playing the Battle of the Bulge. And we have a spot that we need to be able to defend better. We have held off attacks in this spot right here. And we happen to have our two trusted cannons right there. So what we'd like to be able to do is take both those cannons and put them in operation. What we are going to do is I'm going to hold down the L1 button. I'm going to press X on both of these armored personnel carriers. And then, of course, I'm going to zoom out again. And I'm going to command them by pushing the circle button to go over there. Okay, now that we're a little closer to the target, one of the things you can do that's pretty cool is if you want to get both these guns set up right away, you hold down the R2 button and then take the left analog stick and release it where it says tow, and both the guns will be in operation. Now, of course, maybe we don't want these guns right next to each other in case one of them gets hit.
Yes, sir.
What we'll do, of course, is select this armored personnel carrier, wait for the symbol right there, hit the triangle button for attack move.
Infantry moving.
It's going to take the gun and tow it, and we'll tow it to, let's say, right here. That way we're more spread out, and we're not at risk of having all the guns destroyed at once.
Hostile unit spotted.
And then, of course, all we need to do is press R2, take the left analog stick, go to tow, release it, and the gun is now operational. So that's one of the cool features you can do with this.
Fire at the target.
Now, there is one other cool feature that you may or may not be aware of, and that is you can choose whatever doctrine you want going into a game. Why are we discussing this? Well, if you look right here, we're looking at the support doctrine right there. And if you'll notice, we have towing hooks selected, and that goes for the support doctrine of any of the factions in the original Sudden Strike 4 game, which is pretty cool because it'll allow recon vehicles, light tanks, self-propelled and anti-aircraft vehicles to pull any towed guns. So that's one of the cool features, is you can adjust this to how you want to play. And of course, that is going to wrap this up. Before I sign out, if you like this sort of stuff, I would like to remind you there is a playlist on this channel. It's titled Sudden Strike 4. Definitely worth checking out. It's got different types of tips and strategies regarding this game. Something definitely worth checking out anyway. And of course, that's going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching, and good luck.